Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Skin Goals, your trusted resource for all things skincare. I'm your host, Lisa Avalos, and this is my co-host, Kelly.
Hey all, and today we are jumping back into the world of antioxidants, getting even deeper into which are the ones and what should we be looking for, and how about a little bit of SPF? So we're jumping into it today again with principal scientist, Dr. Brian Bodner, our principal scientist.
Thanks again,
the world's
as always.
Principal scientist.
Of course. I'm your principal scientist. Thanks as always. It's great to be here again, and again talking about antioxidants. And yes, last time we talked about kind of the why and what they are. Today, it's really the how. How do they fit into skincare? Right?
Ooh, okay.
Right.
I love that. So, talking about antioxidants, Brian, can you give us a quick recap from the last episode?
Sure. Just go see it. No, but instead of that, if you're too lazy to see it and you want the quick recap, we talked about what they are. Antioxidants are they're always wrapped up in a definition of free radicals. Free radicals are these unhappy molecules that have the potential to do some dangerous chemistry if they're not kept in check. Antioxidants stop that dangerous chemistry. So antioxidants interact with free radicals to what's called quench them or stop their dangerous reactions. That's what they are.
The altruistic molecules
Correct.
that offer their electrons.
Right. So there's antioxidants are basically participating in that that chain reaction, but they're okay with temporarily sharing their electrons. It's true.
Sharing happy molecules, just like health.
You got it. You got it, right? Free radicals, unhappy molecules. Antioxidants, nice altruistic sharing molecules.
I love the altruistic.
That's
it's
right.
Very needed.
Yes. They're in it for the wealth of the other molecules.
Yes.
Of course.
A giver.
Right. They're a
if
giver.
you will.
They're a giver.
All right. So our first question, we went into, a little bit on oxidative stress, but what does that actually look like on the skin?
Right. And oxidative stress, that was the, just to recap that, because we didn't talk about that, was the state where, free radicals are in your skin already doing and participating in all sorts of processes. Oxidative stress is when the balance of those antioxidants and free radicals comes out of balance. There's too many free radicals or in the wrong place. And that can be caused by, like we talked about, it can be caused by light, can be caused by pollution, heat, or a combination of any of those. And what it looks like, though, is your skin being unhealthy. It doesn't happen immediately, right? This is damage that happens over time. And, your body can repair some of that damage itself. But if constantly under oxidative stress, just like a constantly stressed individual, generally their health is going to decline. Constantly stressed skin, generally the health declines too. You might see structural changes. You might see wrinkles or texture, different sort of roughness of texture. You might see your skin either over or under producing sebum, so the oils that it needs. So you either might get really oily or really dry. And you also can see discoloration sometimes. It can cause this hyperpigmentation, this overpigmentation in certain areas over time.
So oxidative stress can lead to all those causes
Can lead to all those things.
Unhappy skin.
Right. And just because you see that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm under oxidative stress, I have a spot. It's one factor that may cause that. Right. Not and everybody is going to be the same. And perhaps continued oxidative stress for you is different than the ramifications for me. Maybe I get, I don't know, maybe more oily up here. And maybe for you it's dry skin. Who knows?
And oxidative stress could be like being in the sun too long, hot shower, baby.
Right. Super. And again, it's constantly kind of stressing your skin. It doesn't always instantly lead to this. This can happen over months to even years of time.
So an antioxidant basically cancels that out, shares the molecule because, thank you, Kel.
Right, you're sharing molecules, exactly. Sharing electrons. Sharing our electrons.
So that way that oxidative stress not goes away, but is helped.
You break the cycle. You break the chain. You break the chain of potential destruction. And again, your body has antioxidants around. Adding sometimes a little extra, some can help.
So what is an antioxidant? Do we eat them? Do we put them on our skin? They're so interesting now.
Right. Now we know kind of what they are and everything. Where does it come in the product?
Yeah.
Right. And what do we find in products? What you'll see, and you've known of some antioxidants before. Like, do you know of any names of antioxidants, right? That people have said, like, this is an antioxidant.
Yes. I love a mimosa.
C, vitamin C, also
Vitamin
known
C
as
is a good one.
mimosas.
Yes.
Right.
Or vitamin E, right?
Right. A lot of these vitamins are the case too. Niacinamide is another one.
A blueberry.
A blueberry itself, right? Blueberries rich in antioxidants, wine, and these things. You'll notice that most of these things have a theme. They come from, a lot of them, from plants.
Mm.
And that's no secret. When we understand antioxidants, yeah, we have them too inside of us. We make our own. Plants do too. And it makes a lot of sense because plants do something special. They actually turn light hitting one of their molecules. It promotes an electron. They create a free electron, and that chain goes through the plant. And in the end, out comes food, sugar, and energy. We call that whole cycle photosynthesis.
Right.
That's something that actually is mediated by free radicals through the whole sequence. Light going into energy and heat. The plants need to control that. So they absolutely use antioxidants a lot, and perhaps even more than us. That's why a lot of these antioxidants come from plants. That makes a lot of sense. They're producing a lot of it. They're using this as one of their core processes for getting energy. We just eat food. Plants have to make it. And they generally make it through this free radical process. So yeah, they're going to need antioxidants to help balance it out, to make sure they're not doing it too much and in the right way.
So free radicals, like I learned last time, guys, are not all bad.
Right. Not all bad. And sometimes the antioxidants are needed, but they're not all bad. And that's why you'll see, like, a lot of these actual ingredients, the vitamin C's, vitamin E's, they're a lot of times coming from plants. And sometimes it's certain extracts from plants are sent to have a lot of antioxidants inside them. And it's a mix of different molecules, but we'll just call it the plant extract, which contains antioxidants. And that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Plants, of course, like they're sitting outside all the time in sunlight. Like, of course, they had to find some way to protect themselves.
You got it.
So they became the biggest source of antioxidants.
Right. And plants didn't just protect themselves. They actually utilized it to their advantage. They said, you know what? This is a great way to make some stuff. So we're going to do that.
Genius.
Right. I mean, I guess the plants are genius or whatever.
So talking about these plants, we can ingest them, but they can also go on topically.
Right. And that's why these molecules sometimes are in our skincare products. And one of the useful things is just to kind of learn their names a bit. So you can look at the back of your skincare product and say, there's an antioxidant there. So vitamin C and vitamin E, they're not usually, sometimes they're called vitamin C and E on there, but they have specific names. One is tocopherol or tocopherol acetate. That's vitamin E.
You don't even want to know how I was pronouncing that in my head.
It's okay, but that's how it is pronounced.
Say it again.
Tocopherol, yes.
Okay.
Tocopherol. Or tocopherol acetate or other sort of thing. Tocopherol palmitate's another one. Vitamin C, there's ascorbic acid. That's vitamin C itself. Or ascorbyl palmitate. Anything like that, like ascorbyl sound to it, probably is a vitamin C derivative or something pretty much derived from vitamin C. Other things like niacinamide you mentioned, ferulic acid is another one. Resveratrol, retinol in a way. There's a lot of these molecules that come from plants. They're called polyphenols. And they just have these general structures that have, specific things like phenols in them. And there's just a collection of literally thousands of these molecules. So instead we just say they're polyphenols.
Okay.
Right. Tons of molecules out there.
Polyphenols,
right.
I was definitely mispronouncing that one too.
That's right.
For years.
Yes, polyphenols. Niacinamide, caffeine in a way is also an antioxidant. There's lots of different molecules that are antioxidants. So you'll find, and when you look at the back, you might be able to start to decipher, I see some in here. I see what you're talking about here.
I love that. And that makes me love plants even more.
It should. They live with us too. And we have some right here, but I don't think these have antioxidants.
They might not be real, guys.
They may not be real, but if it's real, they should have antioxidants. A lot of times things that are colored have antioxidants too. So remember what we're saying is light hits things and can sometimes cause free electrons to go out and create a free radical. In a little way, promoting that electron and kind of come back down can generate some color and so absorb light. So if they absorb visible light and do that, they might be colored.
Wow.
Ooh.
So much learnings about antioxidants. And that's a perfect time for a break. We'll be back. And we're back from break.
Okay, so we're just talking about plants. They get a lot of sun, but so do humans, and we need SPF, right? But I always see right now in SPF, there's always antioxidants. I keep seeing different versions of antioxidants, specifically often niacinamide. But, why? What is the connection? Sun, antioxidants. I think I know, but I want to hear from you.
Sure.
Brian.
And it's good that you notice you already notice some antioxidants, especially niacinamide, right? You know that's an antioxidant. And if you look on the back of your sunscreens, you'll get all the ingredients. You'll see there often is an antioxidant in there. And there is a good reason for that. There's actually two reasons for that, honestly.
Okay.
The first is, well, just like we've been kind of talking about, the hint is UV light kind of generates some extra free radicals. It's definitely able to do that, specifically the UVA piece. Now, we haven't talked all about sunscreens. Mm-hmm. This is a little primer to say that you're going to hear about them, but they're really quite important. They deserve many episodes on their own. But the short version is that, yes, UV light can cause free radicals in our skin. And so it makes sense that if antioxidants can work against this, some of the damage that's caused by free radicals, that it makes sense that they should be used in sunscreen too. So it just makes sense based on that. It's a UV thing and something that can kind of help with some of the damages caused by UV. Cool.
Yeah.
The second reason, however, is that antioxidants don't just help with stopping that chemistry in your skin. They help with stopping that chemistry if it should occur in the product itself.
Okay.
So specifically with sunscreens, there's molecules in there that already do some things, particularly sun filters, right? Mm-hmm. It makes sense that they need to be there in order to do sun protection. We've seen them on the label. These are these specific ingredients that are for sun protection. Some of them do work to absorb light, but sometimes that causes them to be destroyed in the process. And so it's really important to keep them stable. In this case, it's photostability. So photo being from photon and like light coming in. Photostability meaning if it hits with light and if it's not stable, it'll fall apart. Mm-hmm. To be photostable, the antioxidants can help with actually keeping that sunscreen as it is in the product when hit with sun so that you maintain your proper level of protection. So it's actually to protect not your skin, but for the product itself. So that's why there's two reasons: protect the product itself and protect your skin.
So that makes the product actually work.
Right. Makes the product work better, I should say. Right.
Mm-hmm. Continually.
And continually, right. Just because it says, oh, it's good for the first, 30 seconds on your skin. You want it to work for the whole time that you are supposed to be wearing that for.
Mm-hmm. I was for sure, the first one, I was like, I think that's why it's in there.
That's important.
Did not realize the second.
That's very important for the second.
Photostability, it's really helping with the formula.
Yeah, and photostability can be, there's a lot of other ways you can do it too, but antioxidants are a really good way. There's a lot of photostabilizers that are antioxidants.
Can antioxidants provide protection in sunscreen, or do they work with the UV filter?
Right. Well, I mean, yes, they can't be used alone. That's the end of it. So you can't just say, oh, well, I'll have a sunscreen. I'll just use antioxidants in there. First of all, there's a regulation reason. We can't say it's a sunscreen unless it has some of those ingredients in it. Mm-hmm. But secondly, it's just inadequate, the level of protection. Antioxidants are not absorbing the UV light and sort of blocking it that way. They're more related to helping. They're an assistant to your skin potentially for kind of mediating that damage. So it's not really a block. It's not screening against the sun. It's just something that can help with overtime damage. And you'll notice when you wear a sunscreen, you're really blocking predominantly from sunburn. Mm-hmm. That happens pretty quick. We're talking about antioxidants, and if you see some of the testimonials on it, this happens over time. This is stuff that helps our skin over time to fix the damage that happens very slowly. So it just doesn't work on its own. You need it to be combined.
Now, this is a question that I feel like everyone wants to know for antioxidants.
Sure.
What are the best ones?
Well, I mean, there are really good antioxidants, right? There are ones that, if we use the sharing analogy, there are ones that are like, no problem, I'll give anyone my electron just to stop all this nonsense.
The true givers.
Right, the true givers. There are those who don't share as well. And just like people, right? Like people are, sometimes there's antioxidants that prefer to share with particular molecules, but not others, right? So there are differences among them. And you can use this to your advantage in certain products. But what that also means is that as we generate oxidative stress in our skins, and if we have that in our skin, and we're under oxidative stress, it's going to be different for every person. And it's going to be different depending on what caused that oxidative stress. So you're going to probably need a different mixture of antioxidants for different situations. Ultimately, the antioxidants work better in some formulas than others. Mm-hmm. So the question on which is the best, you really can't answer properly. Mm-hmm. So which one is the best is the one that works the best for you, honestly. And certain products are targeted to specifically trying to help with particular skin conditions. So that's usually a hint. Say, if I tend to have drier skin and I notice my skin just getting drier over time, maybe you want to put a product on that is supposed to be good for that. Mm-hmm. And my recommendation always is to sort of just see what kind of evidence is supported with the product. Sometimes they'll have testimonials, sometimes they'll have pictures before and after, and like read the fine print. Actually read to say, like, under what conditions did they say this? Oh, I see this fantastic solution to solve my problems in one day. I don't know if I would trust that so much, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not likely an antioxidant doing it because, as I said, it's going to happen over time. Right? So if you see a trial over the course of 2 months of daily usage, we see this improvement and it's significant. That's something quite believable.
Is it safe to say a variety could be best?
A variety could definitely be best here. And if you really wanted kind of good advice, the same advice that I would give anyone for particular skin conditions holds true here, which is consult your dermatologist. They are medical professionals that do see some of the clinical data and can kind of discern that for you to say, hey, you tend to have this particular skin condition. I know that this product, I've seen the evidence that this tends to work either in other patients or in some clinical data. And so it's a good recommendation from dermatologists.
I wouldn't be surprised if my derm says vitamin A, retinol, and vitamin C.
Right. They may recommend particular antioxidants themselves, but I would also say it's your job too to challenge your dermatologist.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. To say, like, you say vitamin A, why? Oh, because it's good. It's like, do they have the information or are they just sort of saying it? Like, what have they seen? They can share it with you too. Just like we're sharing today about how things work, your dermatologist should be able to share why something works as well.
Love it.
Love it. So if we had a quick breakdown of antioxidants in general, could you give that to us?
Right? I could.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Want it.
Okay, you want me to give me this. Okay. Sure. So antioxidants, like we said, confusing topic it can be if you just search for antioxidants. It's always wrapped up in these free radical concept. Again, we can just explain that to say when molecules, and they often come with pairs of electrons, free radicals are just unhappy molecules that lost an electron at some point in time or don't quite have all their electrons. They steal from others and they create pandemonium, potentially, wherever they are. Now, it's important that they work in your skin for good processes that actually need this pandemonium to create molecules or break down things. But when it gets out of hand, you need to kind of keep that in check. Your body makes its own molecules that cut this chain of free radicals propagating, which are called antioxidants. In your body, they're endogenous, they do exist, but sometimes more free radicals than your body can handle is created. This is what's known as oxidative stress. Right? This is the oxidative stress. Sitting in the sun too long, potentially, taking maybe sometimes too hot showers, or pollution combined with UVA, a lot of other things can cause this condition. And it can be observed as having the effect over time, over months, to texture differences, appearance differences in your skin. It can lead to these skin conditions. So antioxidants in skincare and in sun care makes a lot of sense to try to combat some of these effects that happen over time. And antioxidants are an important part about how a lot of those skincare products work.
In the formulation.
You got it.
Gosh, that's so simple.
Yes.
I just need you in my pocket to remind myself of this every so often.
It's a good thing that we're like recording this. We can have it in in your pocket. It's true.
I love it. And also, who now loves plants more? Because I sure do.
I am imagining
very important.
Like,
hey, you make your own antioxidants too. You should love what your body does itself.
I was literally just telling my girls the other day that we had to eat 30 different fruits and vegetables in a week. That was like our goal. We were like all different colors, all different varieties.
You can also put some of them on your skin, I guess, right?
Yeah.
In a way. So yes, you ingest them normally and nutritionally, we get them that way, but also skincare, you can do it topically.
Love it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Brian,
Of course.
for another exciting episode of Skin Goals, and we'll see you next time.